I'm Reen Schwarzer, and you're listening to the Giant Sword Podcast. Microphones, activate!
Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. Joining me today is the one and only Shadow Elite. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, it's been a long time since we've had a normal podcast. I had a little small update episode about a month ago, and now we're back. There's going to be a lot of changes. Shadow Elite is going to become a regular member. Or regular guest, a member, whatever you want to say. And hopefully we'll get other people joining as well. And we're still going to be talking about JRPGs all the time, because, you know, JRPGs are awesome.
Big facts, that's right.
Yeah, awesome. And there's so many new ones coming out, and the biggest one just came out, Trails of Cold Steel 3. Been waiting for that one for a long time.
For a long, long time. That one finally came out. Oh, man. You enjoying the game so far?
I just got the Chapter 2, and yes, I am, finally. I was kind of getting worried because I noticed that the original cast wasn't really going to be at the school. I'm like, how are they going to do bonding events? And then I figured out they just did the whole phone thing where they message you.
Yeah.
And then you do your bonding events over that. I'm like, oh, that's interesting how they're going to do that. So I'm still just waiting for Sarah.
Oh, man. I don't know what to tell you, but you got a long way to go.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, I need to figure out if I'm able to get the full course meal or not, because she teased it at the end of Sue.
Oh, she absolutely did. Well, I think what did she say, that if Reen was older,
yeah,
she'd go for him or something like that. So yeah, that'd be interesting. But I don't know what's gonna. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Yeah. Let me not spoil it.
That's hopefully that still goes on. I just the one thing that I was worried about is they would just make it so Elisa was the only girl you could. She's the only way only relationship you could have, and that's.
I'm a little bit upset about that too, because I think that's canon right there. Like, I don't think, like, if they made an anime or something like that, it's definitely canon.
Oh yeah.
If they announced it, I'd be surprised. But I think it's pretty much open ended for the most part. Thankfully,
that's good.
I know a lot of people have different choices.
Yeah. When I first met Laura, it kind of the way she interacted with Reen, it was kind of like it's kind of like they were in a relationship before, kind of not, because Reen was blushing and all that. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what they're gonna do. All the girls that were candidates, if I say, are gonna have intros like that.
Okay.
So yeah, the game itself is really fun. I'm playing on hard mode. And shit, it's hard.
You gotta pay attention to a lot of things, especially the new mechanics, the Brave Order, and the breaking of the enemy's break bars or whatever it's called, I forget. But those are really important. You're really gonna have to pay attention to that. So when you get a new party member, more than likely, their Brave Order is gonna come in handy for the next fight. Yeah. So you might want to keep an eye out on that. The Brave Orders, always be sure to keep those up. Always be sure to unbalance, because I use Altina's ability to scan the enemy, and it makes unbalancing easier. So make sure you're utilizing that.
That's what I learned. The last thing I did was I did a hidden side quest where I was able to fight the principal.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, that's tough.
That was. Okay, so it was stupid because if she ever did her power up, I don't know what it's called in the game, where the enemy powers up and they usually do
the enhanced, yeah,
and they usually do their S-craft right after.
Yeah, it was pretty much over.
Yeah, you lose. It's so. What I did, I was just I used the order where it gave me 0 cast time, and I was just spamming Soul Blur, which was doing 1,000 damage per hit. And I was able to do it like 3 times in a row before she even responded, which was like, okay, I'm just gonna take advantage of this. And I had to get lucky and get a critical, or I'll change my order to the one that does more damage. That lets you do more damage, and then I'll do my S-Craft. And I had to get lucky and make sure it actually hit and not resist, because sometimes it would crit. And if it resisted, it always was just like a sliver left until I got to the 70% mark, and she would just do her S-Craft after and would kill me. And it took me like 20 tries just to get that down.
Yeah, that battle was something else. It seems like you and another person I know did the same thing with using the magic. I did it a little bit differently. I just kept attacking her and setting up Iron Will. That's the Brave Order. Mm-hmm. And that was reducing my damage. And I was pretty much just attacking her little by little. So when she got to like a certain amount of HP, I switched to Raging Fire and then unleashed my S-Craft, and that was it. But it took me a long time to get that thing to win that battle, because one of her attacks like throws out a random status element at you. Mm-hmm. And it's like every time I got hit with it, it was always petrification. Oh, really? And I'm like, freaking hell. And the battle's just instantly over. Like, why is this happening all the time? Like, do I want to go back and get an accessory for anti-petrification? I was like, nah, I'm too lazy for that. I'm just gonna keep doing it until I actually win. But yeah, that battle was fun. That was a really fun battle.
I didn't expect them to pull the cheapness that they did, though, because the move that makes there's one move that lowers your strength and your magic ability.
Oh, okay.
And whenever you get hit with that ability, you do like 100 damage. And that's nothing. So it's it's like, well, I'm screwed.
I think I had power potions that cured that. I think it was called the status down effect. Mm-hmm. So I just had stuff that cured that, and I was okay. Yeah, that battle. Whew, that was a great battle.
Yeah, that was fun. It was surprising. It's the same thing, the same time is when I was able to do my Laura bonding event. And I thought it was just going to be a normal bonding event, but no, you went into like a little mini dungeon with her. And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't do that one for Laura.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, they're good. So bonding events might be more involved now. So that was cool.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Yeah, it's a lot more detail put into this one. Mm-hmm. I'm really enjoying all the little changes they made to almost everything. They made everything more sleek. A lot of convenient things. Especially the high speed feature. I did not know that was going to be on the PS4. I knew that was on that was on PC. Mm-hmm. And I figured, PC can handle that. I think the PS4 can handle that as well. Although I think Cold Steel 1 and 2 on PC may have the high speed mode as well. But I don't know. I played them both on PC. But that's a real big change.
Yeah, I've yet to use it.
It's good. I used it during that battle because I was just going back and forth. Yeah, I just going back and forth, hitting her back and forth, so I can just keep track of her HP. But yeah, it's really good if you're like farming or you need to just get some extra Seraph or something like that. Just use a high speed feature. It's really good.
Completely forgot about that. I need to use that more often. How do you feel about it going back to like I've only done one chapter, but the Cold Steel 1 style, where it's the free day and then the field study, and then...
At this point, I'm used to it. I guess it should be counted against it because I guess it's like repeating, it's constant repetition. But you playing this game, this is the third game. This is technically, they set this up in other Trails games. For the most part, maybe not free days, but like it's pretty much you go into town, you do a bunch of quests, you get a story event, you do extra quests. It's pretty much the same thing.
That's what I've been saying.
It's a Legend of Heroes game.
Yeah,
what do you want?
Exactly. That's what I've been telling people. People were like, Trails of the Sky wasn't like this. I'm like, yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
You go to different towns, and then you get all your side quests, and I'm not holding it against it, but I'm just like, don't put that against Cold Steel, because Cold Steel is just following Trails of the Sky.
Exactly. It's like it kind of follows a routine. Like you just said, you're at the end of chapter 2 or something like that.
No, I just started chapter 2.
Oh, you just started chapter 2, so it's kind of a routine that goes on. I see. There's so much things about this game. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not.
Yeah, that's the problem with talking about Trails games.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it does go to like a technically a new routine in which certain party members show up.
So it's so it's like Cold Steel 2, where after the intermission, the game just completely changes its routine, where you're on the ship and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's something like that. Right. But yeah. What else?
I did notice that Chapter 1 was really long.
The whole game is long.
Yeah, the field study was like way more elaborate than the other ones. So there's a lot more like people. I know another complaint in Cold Steel 1 is they say that you don't know who the bad guys are, and there's like nothing you're doing is really matters to the main story. And I'm like, no, it's kind of building the world out, and then you get the little you get little bits of it. But this one, it's still building the world out, but it just throws an enforcer at you, and just it's like, okay, right at the beginning they're throwing the big guns out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People who there are very few people that I know that didn't like Cold Steel 1 and 2. Or 1 rather, because they tried it and they were like, "Oh no, it's too slow. Oh no, nothing happens. It's like I've been playing this game for 30 hours. Nothing's going on with the main story." I'm like, well, it's really trying to build towards that story.
Yeah.
Okay, you just gotta be patient with it. And yeah, you can say that it's a really slow start. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm one of the most impatient people I know when it comes to games, all right? If you're not hooking me from the beginning, all right, I'm done for the most part. But I don't know. If you go around actually talking to people about the world, the history that goes on, it's interesting, to say the least. I mean, like, it's like a world that just got computers, cars, like high-tech buildings. It's all fascinating to me. It's like they're in the revolutionary period. You know what I'm saying? So that was fascinating to me. That always kept me going with it. They just got cell phones and stuff like that too. I think they're being mass produced. Like I just saw a freaking Jeep for the most part.
Yeah.
and Trails Cold Steel 3. I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. I can't wait to see the other games because I hear that the producer or director has plans for even more Trails games. Maybe not Cold Steel games, but more Trails games.
Yeah,
so I want to see if they go forward with it, maybe eventually we'll get to like a futuristic setting or something like that, to like something akin to like Xenosaga or something like that. Or there might be a problem in which technology is advancing too fast, and now we're realizing the consequences of that. So it's interesting. I know what people are talking about.
Yeah, that kind of happened in Cold Steel and Sky 2, where they got too used to the technology that they had, and they kind of lost it, and they kind of freaked out. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but
I think it's a spoiler.
but yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, the whole game is just it's polished. It's like this is the Trails formula, almost perfected in my opinion, especially with the battle system. I like how everything just flows together, like the rush attacks. I don't know about you, but in Cold Steel 1 and 2, I didn't really have much use for rush attacks, like at all. I just kept spamming reads like delay and impede stuff.
Yeah,
but like I didn't have much use for them. But here, like they do a crap ton of break damage.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow, I could actually use that to break the enemy's HP break bar. What else? The burst attacks actually come in useful. Well, they always been useful. They attack all the enemies on screen. The link attacks, they're more frequent because you can see them at the beginning of the game rather than going to like the middle of the game and then they start popping up a little bit.
The link abilities are different too. Like
they're a little bit different.
The auto tier and the charging and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, they're actually adding more stuff to the link levels.
Yeah, and then you also got like the master quartz and sub master quartz.
Yeah,
That's pretty interesting.
I was like, oh, I could break Reen even more.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. See, a lot of people think that like that you break these characters and that you make the game easy. It's like, well, if you're gonna do that, why don't you just go and play on Nightmare and shut up? And I think that this game is designed so you can find ways to do stuff like that. They allow you freedom to doing whatever it is you want to do. I like that a lot. But yeah, like I said, I did spam the crap out of AT delays rather, last games, and MPs. Those were fun doing that all the time, especially with Fee. The enemy never got a chance to go.
Exactly. That's what I did with Fee. That's what I did with Fee in Cold Steel 2. I made her like just delay everyone and do status effects. So
yeah.
So it's good.
That was always fun.
Good thing you can break stuff. What else is there? People complaining about. How do you like the new characters? Or how did you like the new characters? Because
I thought they were all pretty cool. Juna's like she's really proud of her home country, her hometown, I guess you could say. And she's really good. Kurt has got to be the most boring character I have ever seen. I'm like, yo, I gotta do something with your outfit. I gotta make you look a little bit different because I'm like, yo, you like a standard. I don't know. You might be Ring, but less. Like, I don't know what it is about that guy. I just like I don't hate him. I don't like him. I just like you boring, fam. That's all there is to it.
It's like Machias and Usis.
I like Machias and Usis. I always like their little banter that banter that they always had. But Kurt is just something else. He's just boring to me. Tina, she's great. She's coming to terms with like feelings, I guess, for the first time in her life, and she's trying to understand it.
I'm still trying to figure out what this deal with Ash and what's the green-haired chick? I forgot her name. Starts with an M.
Muse,
yeah. So
Ash is a jerk, but he's pretty cool. And Muse is like I like Muse. She keeps making passes at Ring. It's just gold. It's comedy gold.
Muse. So she's like Muse in Tales of Zillia. That
I guess technically, yeah, they're kind of the same.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, almost the same name for the most part too, and they're both just as I guess you could say flirty, as well. Yeah, that's a good comparison. This one scene, it's just like you're on the train. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's just like Reen says something, and I'll just die and laugh, and I'm like, "Yup, that's exactly what's gonna happen if you keep this up with this girl." I wish I could play as the other students in the branch campus. There are other students that are like, yo, I like this girl. Like, can I play as her? Is she gonna join my party? Probably not. Or no. But yeah, it's like I said for every Trails game, Trails in the Sky, Cold Steel game. There is never a character that I just outright hate. And I don't know, there's never a JRPG that I've seen that's done that. For me personally, I played a shit ton of JRPGs. And there's always that one character in the game that I'm like, never be in my party ever, because I don't like your ass. But here in this game, I want everybody. I want to rotate everybody and get a chance to see everything that's going on. That's what I always like about the Legend of Hero games.
So many party members. Like Trails in the Sky 3rd. How many were there? There's so many.
Yeah, I actually didn't get a chance to play that one.
Oh, that one is... that one's just backstory of the game.
That's what I thought. A lot of people were telling me that one's not really technically needed. Like, you could play Sky 1 and 2 and then jump to the Cold Steel series for the most part. But it kind of messed me up because I had a whole plan to play that game and the Crossbell games. But a certain company slid into my DMs. It was like, here, you can play the game early. And I was like, oh. Well, of course I'm going to play the game early now. I got to drop everything now. What do you want me to do? Kind of moved up my timetable, but I'm definitely going to, hopefully I can get the will to go back and play those other games. I get a chance. It's like I was telling people, like I ain't played them all myself, and I like all the callbacks. I like everything that I'm seeing, even for the games I didn't play. So I can only imagine how it's like for somebody who's actually played everything. Like it's like the MCU.
Yeah.
This game in particular, it's like the MCU. It's like Endgame. It's like Infinity War. Everybody's just coming together to fight. You know, the conflict that's going on.
Yeah, that's what happens in Cold Steel 4. Everybody's together.
That's what I'm saying to these people. Like, yo, if you want that feeling, like everything coming together of awesome and just like it's not wasting your time. you gotta play the other games, man. I'm sorry. Like, a lot of people say, oh, I'm gonna look at a summary. I'm like, it's just not the same, man. You should really play at least Cold Steel 1 and 2. At the very least, don't just jump into these games.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
I heard there's some people that are just jumping in straight from Cold Steel 3. I'm like, no, don't do that. That's just weird.
That's insane to me. I mean, if people want to do that, that's more power to them. I could never do that myself. There's really a case with a JRPG when people come to me, they'll say, hey, do I have to play this game? Do I have to play the other games to understand the current one? I want to say like 8 times out of 10, I say no. I say no. There's not many games that you absolutely have to play the other games. And shout out to Falcom for doing this, for actually saying, hey, you should. Well, they'll tell you that you can just start with this one. They know that's probably bullshit. But hey, if you really want to know the backstory and everything to this world, you should be playing our other games. It was kind of hard for us in the West because, well, the Crossbell games aren't translated officially. Yeah. And the games took forever to come out for the most part. Like, I remember, I don't know how long the wait was between Sky 1 and Sky 2. That was a long wait for that one.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it had to be. It had to be that long. Ridiculous. But the Japanese, they just kept getting them as they came out, like year after year for the most part. I think the only one they really had to wait for was maybe Cold Steel 3, and I don't think that was even that long. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but the means is there. You guys, people watching, listening, you should play the other games, really. And as I've always said, play at least Cold Steel 1 and 2, at least.
Yeah, Sky 1 is pretty short. You can beat that in 30 hours or so. I like how we say that's short, but that's short for a JRPG.
Absolutely, yeah. That's really short. Yeah. 25 to 30 hours. Yeah, that's a short JRPG.
But Cold Steel or Sky 2 is the long one, like 60, 70 hours, and then 3 is back to the normal or to the low 30, 40 hours. The same thing happened with Cold Steel 1. It was Cold Steel 1 shorter, Cold Steel 2 is longer. And apparently Cold Steel 3 is really long.
Yeah, oh man, it's really long. But it doesn't feel like it's dragging out at all. It's just like events happen, like you're going through this.
There's just a lot of stuff happening. That's good.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff happening. It's not. I never felt it. I never felt fatigue. Maybe because I'm a big fanboy. So of course, I'm not gonna feel it. I'm always gonna be invested. But I would highly doubt if you are invested into the story, you're not gonna feel it at all. So. I don't know.
People just need to get used to the falcom way of telling stories, which is a lot of explanations and a lot of talking, a lot of story.
Yeah, exactly. The story's always interesting. I can never I feel like it's always nicely paced. Like, okay, I know when the game says, oh, the story's going to advance, I know there's a boss battle coming up and there's probably going to be a lot of cutscenes. So I'm like, okay, I'm good for now. When the cutscenes stop, all right, let's get into a battle, or maybe it's a free day and I gotta do even more stuff. But it's like it's par for the course at this point.
That's what happened when I started the game up, because I played the demo, which is like the whole prologue, and I started this first chapter, and it was just like straight up 3 hours of just talking, setting up the world, and just introducing characters. And I was like, okay, this is it. And then I didn't mind it. And there's some people that would mind that, but it had to introduce an entire new school characters, and it's just like, well, okay, they have to start from scratch. This is like a time skip game.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I like how Reen is back. Finally. When is Cold Steel 4? That's all I gotta ask. I haven't beat Cold Steel 3 yet, but I'm still waiting. When is Cold Steel 4?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna get it next year.
Yeah, because they did that with Cold Steel 1 and 2. So.
Yeah, there should be no reason we're waiting like anything more than maybe at the most a year to maybe a couple of months after. Maybe a year and 2 months or a year and a half, maybe at most. You should get that next year, if anything. There's no reason.
Is it a PS5 game?
No, that's going to be on PS4. unless Falcom right now is planning to have like, I don't know, but the port PS4 to PS5 games, but that's going to be PS4 for the most part. But we'll be playing it on PS5 probably.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point, yeah, that's what it is. Like you can pop your PS4 games to the PS5. So yeah, I guess so.
Still can't believe I have this. We need to have Sean Chiplock on. We'll talk about Reen, his experience with Reen, and then we'll try to get confirmation for Cold Steel 4.
I feel like I don't really need confirmation. I know it's coming. I don't think NIS is going to drop it here. They'd be crazy, or the sales would have to be shockingly low.
I remember last time we had him on, he was like, "I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, maybe Nippon Ichi will get the game and change all the voice actors." And I'm like, "Don't say that. You have to be Rain. You have to be Rain."
That's a scary thought.
But he was right about Nippon Ichi becoming the publisher.
Oh, so yeah, I know you called that.
He called that. And I was like, when I heard that it was the publisher, I was like, oh no, what he's saying is coming true. None of the voice actors are coming back.
It'd be crazy if have done that. They might as well just have not done it if that happened. That would have sucked. Yeah, I don't think I'm really glad they got everybody back.
Speaking of getting everyone back, how did you like the new Million voice?
Million?
Or did you even notice that it was a different voice?
I did not notice.
Okay, that was good.
I didn't notice. Well, yeah, I didn't notice. No, for the most part, no, at all.
Yeah.
She still sounds spunky, energetic, and immature.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, okay, this sounds like Million, so we're good with it.
Exactly, yeah, it sounded like Million, so I really didn't. It didn't bother me. If it was, didn't notice it.
All right, that's our little, what's it called? Ramble about Cold Steel 3. I'm still playing it. You've already beaten it, right?
I'm really close.
You're really close to beating it? But you could watch his review on his channel right now?
Right now, yep. It's up. It's live.
Nice, yep. No spoilers?
No spoilers. No spoilers at all.
No spoilers. There you go. That's how you do it. So let's move on to talking about another game that you're playing. I have not played this. I'm not really into the series, but how is Atelier Ryza?
Surprisingly, it's actually really good. Of course, the big thing about this one is that the main character, Ryza, is the talk of the town. She's the center of attention, and that's mostly because thick thighs save lives. Yeah. But like she's eye candy for the most part, and everybody is drawing towards her, gravitating towards her. And I'm happy to say, like, that's not really what the game is about. See, what I'm seeing a lot of people say, it's about fan service, and like, no, it's not really about all that much about fan service. Okay, the game is actually pretty good for the most part, and I never completed a Atelier game myself. Well, if you count Manacamia 1 and 2, I guess that technically counts. So, yeah. But any other, like, you know, the games that are actually called Atelier, I never actually beat. I've always felt that they were way too girly for my taste. Like I said in an earlier video I did a couple of months back, I would rather have somebody catch me playing Senran Kogura than playing an Atelier game. Because at least with Senran Kogura, you know what I'm about. You know why I'm playing that game. Yeah. That game in particular, you might have to question my manhood for playing an Atelier game. All right, not to knock anybody who plays it like that. You know, I'm just saying for the people around me, they catch me playing that, they like, Shadow, what the hell are you playing? That's what I'm saying. But also, they're really they take a real long time to start because, like the Cold Steel or Trails of games, there's a lot going on, a lot of talking going on in the beginning, and it's like I just want to get into a battle and see how the battle system is. But they talk a lot, which actually Ryza kind of solves. Like you jump into it reasonably, you know. You got the opening stuff; it's not that long, and then immediately you're in a battle. So, no, that's good. Starts off right away. The only one that I played was Sophie, and the reason why I didn't like it is it felt like it didn't have any like goal. It just felt like everything I was doing was random. I would just go to random places, pick up
materials and then alchemize them, and then suddenly, story moment happens. I'm like, what did I do? And it felt like there was no story, and I'm hoping that this one, there's a linear story.
Par for the course, Atelier games I've seen and heard are pretty much like that. There's no major story for the most part. You're pretty much just gathering materials. In this case, for Ryza, she just wants to go on an adventure. She wants to do more things. She wants to, I guess, broaden her horizon. And of course, just being an Atelier game, she's interested in alchemy. So that's her main focus right now. And for the most part, there really is no, like, save the world plot or anything like that, like that you can do. That's of course, for every Atelier game. So in that regard, not really changing much.
All right. That's good. But how's the battle system?
The battle system is really good. It's like active turn based, and you're only controlling one character. You can switch between the other characters on the fly when you want to, and it's really good because you're really, like, later in the game. I can see that you're really gonna have to pay attention to a lot, because you're gonna have to see if your AP is good, if characters are calling out to use items, if you can use a magic attack on an enemy that would be more effective, attack the enemy's weakness for the most part. There's a lot going on, a lot of things that you're gonna have to keep track of and keep switching between characters to know to figure out what's the best play. One of the things that I've seen about it is that you could set an item, and, like, if you set, like, a bomb, for example, you could have unlimited uses of that bomb, provided you have enough, I want to say, what was it called? CC gauge or something like that. And you can, like, convert items to your CC gauge, and then you can keep using the same item over and over again. I guess to an extent, really. But there's a lot of strategy that goes on in between that. In the beginning of the game, it's really easy, but eventually when you get to the boss battles, you're gonna have to be paying attention to a lot. One of the things that I might have to call out on the battle system is that sometimes the screen can look a little bit cluttered. Like, there's a lot happening on the screen, but I've gotten used to it. But I can see how some people might say, like, okay, the screen's a little bit cluttered, a lot of things are going on. I'm not too keen on that, but a
lot of UI elements.
Yeah, a lot of UI elements is going on there, and you gotta keep track of everything. But yeah, the battle system as a whole is really good. Yeah.
When's that game coming out?
I believe it's coming out this Tuesday.
You said, yeah, so it's coming out really soon.
Yeah, it's coming out really soon.
It's coming out when this podcast comes out.
And by then, hopefully, my first impressions will be up.
So I just noticed that ever since this game has been announced, people have been really excited for it. And for more, like, because of Ryza herself, but also Absolutely. Because the game itself looks like an evolution of these games, so...
Yeah, this is definitely a step up. Other games, they look a little bit, I wouldn't say dated. Well, at this point, they're dated. They look a little bit dated, and they don't look that, compelling. But this one, they really pay attention to a lot of attention to detail here. Now, I don't know, because maybe I'm playing on PC, and it looks really good to me. Like, the shadows look good, the details, the drawback distance, it all looks really good. Again, it could be because I'm playing on PC. But I heard on Switch, it looks pretty good on Switch. I'm actually going to have a friend of mine send me some Switch footage so I can do a comparison myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, compared to, like, Trails of Cold Steel, Falcom games in general are they're not the biggest studio, so their graphics aren't, like, high end. But Cold Steel 3 looks great, but it still has that cheapness feel to it.
I honestly don't. I mean, like, in my review, I said the graphics look good. It's definitely a step up, because it was nice to see a Legend of Heroes game built from the ground up for the most part on a console instead of a portable. Freaking Vita. I say it looked great for what they did, for what they could have done. It looks good to me. I mean, it doesn't look like a high end Final Fantasy or something like that. But I'd say it might be a little bit below, just a tad bit below, like a Tales of game. not Tales of Arise.
No, because Tales of Arise looks like a Final Fantasy 15 game.
Yeah, that game is like stepped it up completely. But like prior to that, like Berseria and Zestiria and Atelier, yeah, it looks like a tad bit better than those. Maybe in the same league for the most part.
Yeah. It sets a standard. Not every game needs to look like a Final Fantasy 15.
Absolutely. I think that's one of Square's problems. Well, they got this reputation for being a really big budgeted company and showcasing graphical power, and I think that's one of their problems, because when they go for that high fidelity of graphics, they realize that their console can only do so much. That's why Final Fantasy 15 had to go through like a countless amount of updates before it actually ran optimal. I would like for the next Final Fantasy to like dial it back, and if they're gonna do that, maybe go back to a retro style. You know, I think that would be really good. Like look like Octopath Traveler. This way, you just have to worry about telling a story and having a good battle system. You don't have to worry about all the fine details to the graphics.
Like
for the most part.
Like Final Fantasy 7, how crazy detailed that is. The remake.
Yeah. Oh man, that remake looks really good. I'm both worried and excited for it. Yeah. I don't know if you don't mind me diving into that.
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Why? But Square Enix, they have in the past, for lack of a better word, like screwed me over. I guess I don't know. What's your policy on cursing?
No, you can curse. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. Square Enix has fucked me over so many times in the past. Kingdom Hearts 3 was oh my god, it was such a letdown, and I actually forgot Kingdom Hearts 3 came out this year, and I played it.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. Like, I enjoyed it. It just, I wish there was more to it, though. You know, like I felt like 2 was way better. 2 was way better.
Absolutely.
But I wanted more story in 3. I felt like it was just filler the most of the time. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was filler until you got to that until you did all the worlds and got to that one world. I forgot what it was called. I don't know what it was called. I blocked that game from my memory. Until you got to that certain world after you did everything else, then story started becoming relevant. Before that, everything was just filler. It's like you could have just started the game here. Because Sora finding the power of awakening or something like that. Oh, turns out it was always within himself. Oh, who would have thought? But it's like they had to find a way to get like all the Disney worlds in there. And those Disney worlds still almost at the grand scheme of things didn't really matter for the most part. I don't know, man. That game was just that long of a wait, and you disappoint me like that. That's terrible. I think at this point I'm officially done with Kingdom Hearts. I don't care what they're doing. I heard that they're hiring for the next Kingdom Hearts game, Square Enix. I do not care. Unless you're going to bring back Final Fantasy characters, you can miss me with the next Kingdom Hearts game. I'm done. Kingdom Hearts ended with me with 3, and that's it. That's how much it will. What if they do cut ties with Disney and make it like Final Fantasy characters?
If they did that, I'm sure they would have more leeway to do a lot of things, because I think like in the Disney world, they really messed up. Well, I think Disney told them that you can't do this with this character, you can't do that with this character, you can't have this character fight, because I think if you notice in every single world, you're always fighting like a heartless or a nobody or something like that, instead of fighting like an actual Disney villain. So that was really weird, I think. I can't recall if there was any Disney villain that we actually fought. But yeah, I think like Disney was really like holding Square Enix's hand and saying, no, you can't do this, can't do that. And most of them were just like rehashes of the movies. Oh my god, that Frozen world. Oh my god, that Frozen world was stupid. Oh my god.
How many songs do they have? They have 2 songs, right?
I think so. I don't even know. I know. Of course, they had Let It Go. I don't know what the other one was, but that Let It Go just literally came in out of nowhere. I'm like, bitch, why aren't you singing? Who told you to sing? Like, where did this come from?
That was the moment I'm like, okay, Disney told them they had to do this.
Exactly, yeah. Like, you gotta get that in there. Yeah. Only word I liked in there was Big Hero 6. I thought Big Hero 6 was a cool word.
Yeah, it was. I like Toy Story because you got the drive mechs and stuff.
Yeah, Toy Story was actually really good too. But yeah, Square Enix are just really disappointing me. I don't know how you felt about Final Fantasy 15. Did you like it?
No. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I was mad because they kind of like it didn't feel like a Final Fantasy game at first because it's like the magic was only like fire, thunder, and blizzard. That was it. There was no like holy and all that stuff. Well, there was holy, but it was like a special ability that you could use when I forgot it was at the end of the game and you were doing the stealth mission part.
Oh yeah, why is there a stuff missing in my JRPG?
And I felt the story. It felt like it was cut up. Like things were cut out. And I was like, "There's something missing here." And
like even the, I'm sorry, like even the parts where they obviously like cut stuff out, like you know how Gladiolus left the party, how it just suddenly showed up blind. Like even that stuff, set aside that stuff, it still feels like shit was cut up completely. At a time like this game had a troubling development for the most part, and it really shows. And I really can't see how people don't see it.
Yeah, like the whole Luna. It's like this character. Her name was Luna, right?
Yeah, her name was Luna.
Yeah. Okay, so she's like special to Noctis apparently, but you never have any interaction with her, and then the Leviathan battle happens, and that happens, and he's like, "Really?"
It's like I'm supposed to care.
Yeah, I was like, I don't
care about these people. Like I didn't know this girl. I didn't know they had a relationship. Yeah. Oh, did I have to watch the anime and watch the CG movie that came out? Well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna actually do that because no JRPG, no freaking game in general tells you to go watch these outside sources so you can understand what's going on here. Like, no, you can miss me with that.
I always said that they should have started the game with the invasion of Insomnia. Then they when they first showed Versus, that was shown, right?
Yep.
The invasion of Insomnia.
Yeah.
Why did they cut that out? I don't know.
That game, that Insomnia should have been the first city you were in for the most part. You should have been going around that city for a good, like, maybe it should have been like Midgar for the most part. Maybe a couple hours you should have been in Insomnia, and then you left to go maybe do something, and then the city gets attacked and you can't go back anymore. Okay, fine. You should have done that, but the game was in so much development hell that they couldn't do something like that for the most part. And like I said, graphically, I think that held the game back for the most part. And especially like with Final Fantasy 13, people were saying like, oh, it's too linear, so they had to make this game open world so people can shut up about that. And I think that was just detriment to them because the open world was boring as hell.
Yeah. Some people really liked it. I didn't like it.
It was pretty much dead. There was really nothing to do there unless you go for a very specific quests. Like there was really nothing you could do. Some of the things that happened in the world was pretty cool. Like sometimes when like the enemy would attack you out of nowhere, like they would actually come out of their little ship and jump down to you. That was pretty cool. Stuff like that was pretty cool. For the most part, I wasn't too impressed.
Yeah, I remember I was playing, and I was just kept doing side quests, and I'm like, you know what, this is just a waste of time. I'm just doing the story missions. And, the story missions was just like 5 hours, and I finished it. I'm like, okay, there you go, I'm done. And I'm never touching this again.
Never touching it again. Well, personally, I keep saying I'm gonna go back to maybe finish it on PC because it runs buttery smooth on PC, and it looks really good. Maybe I was gonna go back just to see if it was as bad as I felt, because I think at the time when I played it, I was really angry at the same time because it took so long. And I got a game that wasn't Final Fantasy. The ending battle was like, what the fuck was that ending battle? That's not a Final Fantasy ending battle. The World of Ruin should have been a whole separate section. We should have explored that whole thing a little bit more, but no, we went straight to Insomnia.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And they're talking about. I remember we got the Hammerhead. It was Hammerhead, right? Stop barking, dog. And they were like, "Oh, we got to catch up." And she was talking about what's the guy's sister's name? Iris?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And they're like, it's like, "Oh, you mean Demon Hunter Iris?" I'm like, "Oh, I want to know who Demon Hunter Iris is."
Wow, I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, who's Demon Hunter Iris? I want to see what she's like. It's like, oh,
exactly. What's her deal? Yeah. That sounds awesome.
And And then I just remember the cutscene was like, hey, let's go catch up. It's like, okay, let's go catch up. And then it ends, and then he goes, go to Insomnia. I'm like, okay, I guess we're not going to catch up.
Nope. See, Square Enix has been dropping the ball for me for the past. So I don't know. How did you feel about Final Fantasy 13?
I never finished it.
Oh, good. You ain't missing out much. That's the point. The fact that you never finished it says a lot. I'm assuming. So that just tells you that the quality of that game.
Well,
so
I would tell you the only Final Fantasy games that I have finished is 7 and 15. I was a Tales of guy. I played all the Tales of games.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, so that's the reason for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, but back to it. That's why I'm worried about Final Fantasy 7 for the most part. All that stuff we just talk about. And I don't know if Square is going to drop the ball again or they can hit it out the park. But as history has shown me, they can't make a big budgeted title without messing it up in some way, shape, or form.
Well, haven't they already messed up? They're saying it's only going to be the Midgard area for the first part.
See, a lot of people were saying that they have a problem with that. And me, I don't have a problem with that. Because, like I said, I know the history of this company. If they actually tried to make an entire full game, we'd be old as shit. Because they would take forever to get it done. Yeah. So I said, you know what? How about you just, come out in parts. If you realize you messed up in one part, you can improve it. You can improve it in the next part. At least that way, I get something relatively quick. Like maybe the next part of Final Fantasy VII Remake will come out. Maybe fingers crossed. In 2 years, that'd be great. Instead of me waiting another like 5 or 6 or 7 years to get the full package. You know?
Yeah. Oh God. Hopefully it's not like that. Hopefully it comes out, it's like, oh, the next part's going to come out in 6 months or a year. It's like, okay, that's good. But I doubt it.
I know, yeah. You can't hold on to that. That's how common sense should be, how it should be, because you have, like, everything made for when it comes to character models at the very least. You don't have to worry about character designs for the most part.
You don't have to worry about the engine and all that.
Yeah, exactly. You got all that played out. You just got to make some new environments, some new events, and go from there. You got a battle system already laid out, so it shouldn't take that long. But knowing Square, like we're definitely, I'm calling it right now, and I'm probably gonna make a tweet about it. We're not gonna see Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 till like mid PS5 gen.
Oh, don't say that. Oh gosh, don't say that.
I'm telling you, man. Unless they announce something a couple of months after the remake, the Part 1 drops, we ain't seeing that game for a while. I'm
so amazed that we're getting it in March.
Absolutely.
But wait.
That's also another thing I'm calling. It's gonna get delayed.
Really?
That's how I feel about it. It's gonna get delayed.
You know, I kind of hope it does, because doesn't Royale come out in March as well? I think March. I think they just pegged it for spring. Oh,
but surprisingly, I got that down as a. Because Atlas will never get me to trust them with release windows again after Persona 5 was supposed to come out in winter of 2014.
Yep.
So you're not getting me there, Atlas. So maybe not as much as Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like I got a 90% chance of that getting delayed. But Persona 5 Royal, I say that's around a 50-50 shot at getting delayed.
I don't know. Hopefully not. I want to play.
No,
I want to get it over with.
We want to get it over. What'd you think of Persona 5?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Good, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went out with the teacher. It's all good with there.
Well, the maid teacher, yeah. She got the dual waifu right there.
That was a surprise that happened. I was just doing her social link, or not social link. What is it called?
Confidant, but social links anyway. Yeah.
Confidant, and it made it seem like I was like, are they really gonna make me able to go out with her? And it says this choice is very important. You can't change this. And I'm like, wow, you actually could go out with your teacher. That is really weird. Gotta do it. Then instead.
Which is interesting is because they tell you that choice is really important when you can just go around and just date the other girls as well. If you want.
In typical Persona fashion.
Absolutely. Harem forever.
Yep. And then you get beat up in the Valentine's Day.
That's funny. Surprisingly, the girl doesn't break up with you.
Yeah. I like how they actually added a whole scene for that, because in Persona 4, all it happens is at school they come up to you and they say, I'm your girlfriend and we should be going out on these days, and that's it. Nothing else happens. It's like, oh, whatever, man.
Like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about.
In Persona 3, they'll just hate you. You
remember that? I can't remember that.
Because if you ignore them, your social link starts going down.
Yeah. Okay. Now I remember that. Yeah. Can you do that in Persona 5? Can social links reverse in that game? I can't remember.
I don't think so. Not like Persona 3. Persona 3 it was painful because it's like, I'm going to start doing this social link. Oh, I forgot about her. She hates me now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
what do you think of Persona 5 Royal? It coming out at a full price tag.
Well, I bought Golden, which was the same thing. So
a lot of people are upset about that. I'm like, yeah, this is. It's not just that they're adding new things. They're like reconstructing the entire story for the most part.
It's like a totally new game.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell people that like don't spend $60. I'm like, it's like a totally new game. Like, what are you talking about?
I haven't looked up anything. I haven't watched any trailers. I haven't seen any of the music. I haven't done anything because I'm like, no. I've already played Persona 5. I know what it's like. I want everything else to be a surprise.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do too, as well. I had to block a whole bunch of people on Twitter so they could stop like tagging me in their tweets about Persona 5 Royal news, and I'm like, please don't show me this.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I don't want to see it at all. I want to be surprised. I don't know, you guys do you, but I want to be surprised when I go in there. People tagging me, oh, Shadow, listen to the music, to the battle theme. I'm like, no, I'm good. When I play the game, I'll listen to the battle theme then.
Yeah, exactly. I'm amazed that you haven't been spoiled on trail stuff, because that's everywhere.
I've been spoiled on some things.
Some things?
Yeah, some things. Not too big of a deal, but there's one character that I got spoiled on, and it's like, well, the promotional cherry kind of messed me up on that one. So
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about. I know I know what happens.
Yeah.
The same thing happened with Taylor posted this ad for Cold Steel 4, and it has a huge spoiler on that thing for a certain character. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, Taylor, there's a huge spoiler on that. Why'd you post that? And he was like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, of course you didn't know. You haven't played the games.
Like the character just showing himself, or the character that you see, it's a spoiler. I'm like, oh, man. That's too late now. But,
same thing with Cold Steel. Same thing happened with Cold Steel 4 with the character you're probably talking about. Because it's like, there he is.
Yeah, he's right there. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Oh, so let's move to. So we've been going for an hour. Let's move to. Have you been playing anything else other than Ryza and Cold Steel 3?
Ryza and Cold Steel 3. I don't think I've been playing anything else. Well, there's this one game that I'm actually trying to play, but I haven't played it at all, so I can't say I'm playing it. So it's not even worth mentioning at this point. There was an English patch for a game, for a Japanese-only game that just came out recently, and I want to play that, but I'm still in between Ryza and Cold Steel at the moment.
It's not Crossbow, is it?
No. It's called Super Robot Tyson Endless Frontier Exceed. And I loved the first game back in the day. I even put that one on my top 10 JRPGs of all time because of how awesome I thought it was. And I want to play a sequel so badly, but I don't have the time to do it.
Which one? What console is that on?
That was actually on the it's the old gun. It was on the DS.
The DS, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was on DS, but I'm playing it on emulator because I don't have a DS anymore.
And
for the most part,
the only one that we got was Endless Frontier OG.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. God damn, I wish I had that game. I was an idiot. I was a young boy. I needed the trading credit. I was like, oh, let me trade it in. I was like, oh no, I wish I kept that. Now I can't find it anywhere. Well, for a reasonable price, I think.
I have no idea how I have that game actually.
I
don't remember buying it. It's just there.
I wish I kept my copy. I don't think I'm playing anything else for the most part. I'm always playing Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne to get that done, but that's not. I've been playing that game for a good year now.
Sure.
Because what I'm doing with that game is I'm only playing it on live stream.
Oh,
so that's hard to do. Yeah. Everything is done on live stream, and it's one of the hardest JRPGs of all time. So even if I'm grinding, I'm only doing it on live stream. So it takes a long time for me to get that done, which I should probably stream that later. I don't know.
Yeah, you should. It's always good to stream. My rule for streaming JRPGs is I have to beat the game first.
Oh, really?
Because I don't want to play a game and someone's like, oh, this happens. Oh, this happens.
Well, if you're playing it, you should know that this is gonna happen. Play. If I decide to stream Cold Steel 3 and a major spoiler happens, it's like, well, you're here on stream, so you shouldn't get mad about it.
Yeah. No, I meant people in chat would just start spamming the endings and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah, jerks, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That would suck.
And I like when I play JRPGs, I tend to focus on them, and I don't want anything else to bother me. And when I'm streaming, I'm paying attention to everything else. So I'm not really paying attention to the.
Yeah, that's pretty tough to do that because I have this policy where I have to engage my chat when I'm live streaming, or else it just comes out as me playing the game, not much doing much. I feel people come to a live stream to get a bit of your personality, but I have to concentrate on the story, and at the same time, I got to concentrate on the chat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know what's going on in the story for the most part. So, yeah, that makes sense. And sometimes the story bits are kind of boring. People want to see gameplay. You know what I'm saying? So it's if you start off with Cold Steel and then you're just going through a whole bunch of cutscenes, before you know it, 2 hours has passed, and it's I don't feel like streaming anymore. So yeah, when I tend to stream, I try to get it when it's a long dungeon I know is coming up and not that many cutscenes. Maybe a boss battle here and there, but that's about it.
Try to stream a Japanese game.
What's that?
This is Tales of Destiny for the
PS2.
I can't see
that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little tiny screen. I forgot I'm using. You see my template. Yeah, I streamed that. That's easy for me to stream because I know everything about that game. But I was streaming Tales of Destiny 2 for the PS2, which is only on Japan, and that was fun because I was reading. I was streaming it and reading the script on, and having to interact with the chat as well. So the chat has no idea what's going on, and I'm just start laughing because I'm reading what's going on.
Yeah, that's tough to do.
Yeah. It's fun. It was fun though.
If it's a game like Code Vein, for instance, that's another one I need to play. I had loaded on my PC. I need to play that one. If it was something like that, I don't mind streaming something like that because for the most part, you're fighting for the most part, and that's that I can do. I can fight and pay attention to the chat after I'm done fighting for the most part, and there's not that much story. But other than that, yeah, I like to keep it separate. Yeah.
So for me, I don't know if I mentioned this on the stream or on the last episode. Is I went on a SRPG run. Just started playing Desgaia, Final Fantasy Tactics, Vandal Hearts, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and then Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2. I was just starting messing with all of them, seeing what I would want to play. And I settled with Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, but I was playing on my PSP, which is it's a Game Boy Advance game. What kept happening is that the emulator would either crash or something would turn off, and I would lose hours of progress. And that happened 3 times. And I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm done. I'm not playing this anymore. And then I went to Tactics Advance 2, which I actually own, and I could play legitly on my DS. And I've just been going straight on at it for a long time. That game was fun. They changed a lot to it. In Advance, have you ever played the Final Fantasy Tactics Advance?
Yeah, I didn't play the Advance one.
So the normal one, you leveled up and got job points for doing stuff, and that's how you would get skills. In advanced games, you need to find the weapons to get the skills, and you have to use that weapon for a while to learn that skill. And it's kind of like Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds exactly like Final Fantasy 9. And
in Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 1, it was really easy to get all items, and you would like get all the skills really quick. In Advanced 2, they made it so it's really difficult to get these items, so they made it so you had to change your jobs and level up like all of the jobs to get all the skills. So you're not wasting job points. So you're always constantly learning a different skill. So normally at this point I would have like a master like fighter with like a thief, but now I have like 3 skills learned. I don't know how I feel about that, because it's like I want to learn all these skills now, but I don't have the items. Like I don't know where to get these items.
Okay.
But the game itself, it's really fun. Like I always love Final Fantasy Tactics.
So is that the one that you're most invested to now into this strategy RPG venture?
Right now, yeah. I've been playing that. I started playing Disgaea 1. It's the case is still on my desk. The complete edition, and that was fun. But I don't know. I like how Final Fantasy Tactics plays, where it's like the turn based. It's turn based. It depends on your character's speed is when you go, and it's not like you all go at once, all your characters go at once, and then all the enemy characters go at once.
Okay.
Like that's what a lot of SRPGs do, and I don't know. I just don't want it. I like
interestingly enough, I think I like it the other way around. I like how this guy does it.
Really?
How I like my turn, and then like the enemy can go ahead and go. I like that. I think as far as strategy games go, well, this guy is probably my second favorite one.
Really?
Probably.
I want to get like really into it, because I've played the first one, but I never really did the item world stuff and all that. And I just did the story. I want to like really break the game. Because for some reason, I don't know why, but I own every Disgaea game, but I've never played them.
That's interesting. I could never do that.
Yeah, look at here's Disgaea 5 right here, and it's still unopened.
I believe Disgaea 5 is coming out. So.
Oh yeah, it is coming out.
Yeah. Disgaea 5. I love that one. I even got all the DLC. Technically, I have complete. Oh no, wait. I'm sorry. Disgaea 4 complete is coming out. Yeah.
Why is 5 not good or something? Jeez.
No, 5 complete already got a release.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So you gotta turn it on your head, turn the strategy RPG on the head, and make it so when you move a character, the enemy moves a character at the same time.
Okay.
That's really weird. Vandal Hearts 2 does that, and it was really unique.
Is that like a roguelike?
No, Vandal Hearts is a PS1 SRPG. And it's made by Konami.
Okay, because it sounded like a roguelike when you said like when you go, the enemy goes at the same time. Because I feel like some roguelikes kind of do that.
Yeah, it's like, you know how you move a character and then tell them to do an action.
Oh, okay.
And then an enemy character does moves and does action. So you could totally, like, the enemy's right here and you're right here, and you move right next to the enemy, that same enemy will move to where you're at, and then you both attack and miss because you. It's really weird and interesting, but I tried to get into it. I played the first one, and that one's completely different. That one's like Disgaea, you all go and enemy all goes. Mm-hmm. But this one changed it up a lot. Okay. But the thing about Vandal Hearts is that when you kill someone, all this blood just goes like a freaking geyser.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's really funny.
That sounds great.
And that's why it's rated M, just because of that. And it's not really that gory of a game. It's just whenever a character dies, geyser of blood comes out. And when it happens to your character, it's like, oh, I've been hurt. I need to go back to camp. But you just lost all this blood. But yeah. That's what I've been playing. Well, I've been like really slow on my games. I've been playing Destiny 2 and World of Warcraft Classic, and I wasn't really getting into JRPGs, and I was like, I need to do some JRPGs to get back into the run of things.
Are you invested in Destiny 2?
I play with my coworkers, and I've just been trying to get some exotics. I was really invested. I was playing like every single day. And then
I had that with Destiny 1. I was really invested, and then I started to realize this game is basically a free to play game.
Yeah, that's what Destiny 2 is now. It's free to play.
Yeah, just turned to free to play. Yeah. It was always like that. It was like that with Destiny 1. I realized it. I will never forget the day I told my friend that Destiny is the free to play model at $60. He looked at me and said, "It's not free." I was like, "Did you hear what I said?" I said, "It's a free to play model. It's basically the same thing. It doesn't give you that much content, and the item drops are stupid low." It's like you not realize this? But he loves it. He still plays it to this day, and I'm like,
Destiny 2 is like the opposite now. It's like you get items all the time, and the quests now are just all for exotics.
Okay.
Or yellows. I don't know if you remember.
No,
because it was gray, green, blue, purple, yellow.
Okay.
Now in Destiny 2, there's only blue, purple, and yellow because gray and green are just thrown out because it's Destiny 2. You're already high level. Oh, there's not even levels anymore. I forgot.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like armor level, right? Or light level or something like that?
Yeah, it's like weapon level or item level.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Do you ever... Let me ask you a question real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how big you are into JRPGs or RPGs in general. Do you consider yourself an all-around gamer?
Yeah, I play a lot of... Like, when I'm getting older, I used to buy all the games, all the big name games, and played them. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm getting older, I decided to what games do I like? I like fighters, I like JRPGs, I like Doom, and mech games. And horror games. That's it. And horror games are really rare. And I always focus on JRPGs all the time, and then Doom.
So do you feel sometimes like when you're playing like a lot of JRPGs back to back, do you ever feel like you're fatigued and you want to move on to something else? To something that's not a JRPG?
I don't know if that happened. I don't know when I stopped playing happened because I was fatigued from playing too many. Because I think it was just because the podcast went under a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna play something else for a little bit. But yeah, I have so many JRPGs that I've never played that I don't want to Then they're all so different. Playing like a modern JRPG and then going back to a PS1 RPG is completely different feelings.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I know a lot of people can't go back to PS1 RPGs. I don't know how you can. It's just I know sometimes they're really archaic, but it's still a fun experience. You're playing an old game.
I don't know. I kind of agree with them to a point. I haven't tried it. I haven't played a PS1 JRPG in such a long time. But I'm pretty sure if you put Legend of Dragoon in front of me and told me to play it today, I'd be like, nah.
Yeah, that's hard. That is hard. I know that.
Yeah.
It's certain games.
Yeah. The most part, for me, I never get tired of playing a JRPG. I could play JRPGs for a year straight. For the most, I will never get tired of playing the genre. I'll play, earlier this year, I was playing the crap out of Resident Evil 2. I was playing that, but in the back of my mind, I was like, all right, when am I getting back to a JRPG? I always wanted to get back to it, but Resident Evil 2 was a really good game. That's a really good horror one. Pretty sure you played it.
Yep.
I got 70-something hours in that game.
Yeah, I just when that game came out, I destroyed it. And then I played it I think I played it 4 times or completed it 4 times, and then I was like, okay, I'm done for now.
Yeah, I right now, if I was to go on see the latest mod for the game and I install the mod, I'm gonna play the whole game over again from start to finish. I love Resident Evil 2, which is interesting because it had a chance to be my game of the year for the longest time. It was my game of the year, but Cold Steel 3. It's probably going to take that for me personally.
When Resident Evil 2 came out, Cold Steel 3 wasn't even announced, was it?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Definitely. We had no idea. Yeah. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, I just remember every podcast okay, when is Triad Cold Steel 3 coming out? When is it coming out? And then it happens. It's finally here.
Finally here, man. Almost surreal.
I gotta get back into it. It's just when you work in the mornings, sometimes you just want to sleep all day.
Absolutely. I know. I got a regular schmegular 9 to 5 like everybody else. and when I get home, I just like I don't want to do anything. I just want to play this game. I don't have to worry about making a video or something like that. I just want to play this game. And even then, sometimes I'm just like, okay, I want to sleep because I'm exhausted from my job.
Yeah. Yeah. My 9 to 5 is 5 to 1.
5 to 1?
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's five in the evening to 1 o'clock in the morning?
No, 5 a.m. to 1 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. Oh damn, what time do you wake up?
4.
Wake up, god damn. Actually, that's not too bad now, I think. Well, you still got the whole entire afternoon.
Yeah.
You got the whole entire afternoon.
Yeah, that's why I like the morning shift like that. Because it's like, I
that's
work in the morning and then you have the day ahead. But
that's the whole day for the most part. That's really good.
Yeah, and you get really tired at night. Or at 9 or 10. So.
I could imagine that, yeah. I had one be there at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And like by the time like 10 o'clock at night came by, I was like, I'm done. I gotta go sleep.
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
Your night social life is gone.
Yeah.
So your social life is now like after work.
But yeah, that's a good hours though. 5 to 1. That's not bad. You got the whole day ahead of you. You just have to stop. You'll probably have to stop at around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because then you'll start feeling tired. But that's really good.
It's actually usually when I get home, I start playing like Cold Steel or something, and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling it. I'm really tired. So sometimes they have to take a nap. Well, that's because
coffee has been my best friend for the most part.
Coffee.
Yeah.
I haven't really done that. I should try that. Coffee right after work.
I've been Starbucks has been making a fortune off my ass. I've been always going there every day after work because I can't go home and go to sleep. Yeah. I need to do stuff.
I almost fell asleep when before we did the podcast. I was laying down playing Final Fantasy Tactics. I was like, oh no, I'm getting really tired. Yeah. And then I got up and then sat down here and started getting ready. I'm like, okay, I'm waking up again. But I'm awake now, so that's good. For the last, let's answer some questions from the Discord. Oh.
Getting a little hot.
All right. The recent ones. From Asian Sensation, they asks, what is your favorite scary game?
Favorite scary game? Well, I think Resident Evil 2. Even though it's not scary to me, if I had to go back, way back in the day, it would probably be Resident Evil 1 on the Sega Saturn, because I think that one is different from the PS1 version. I'm not sure. But yeah, that one was really good. But one game that got me back in the day when I grew up, one game that really just, like, I was terrified of that game. Like, I don't even play it. I actually want to go back and play it now. It's called Nightmare Creatures. That one was just terrifying for a kid.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I think I rented it once because like my dad at the time, he was like, it's Friday, go to Blockbuster, get any game you want, kid. Go ahead. And I was like, okay, let me get this game, Nightmare Creatures. I was like, you sure you want to get this game? I was like, yeah, sure. And I got it, and I'm like, next thing I know, I'm having night terrors. But yeah, I actually want to go back and play that one.
Oh man, I have so many. A lot of games, like scary games don't really scare me. I just like playing them.
I think Dead Space is another one for me.
Oh, I love Dead Space. Dead Space was so good.
Dead Space 1 and 2. We don't talk about Dead Space 3.
You don't talk about 3. 3 was such a disappointment.
Yeah, 3 was terrible. As a matter of fact, I want to play Dead Space 1 again. God damn, that game was great. But Dead Space 3,
really good.
Disgusting.
No, Dead Space 3, not really good. Dead Space 1, really good.
Yeah, and 2 was good too. I think 1 and 2 are kind of like the same for me for the most part.
Yeah, I really like 2. The thing is that I've never played this. Sorry, I got distracted. 2, I don't know if I like him talking but I did enjoy the game. It was more actiony, but it wasn't 3.
Yeah.
And what I love about 1 was just that you were stranded on a ship in space. That was great because it reminded me of Doom 3, and I know a lot of people don't like Doom 3, but I really enjoy Doom 3 for its slow survival horrorness.
Yeah, I don't remember finishing Doom 3 though, but I think I remember liking it though.
I grabbed Fatal Frame 3. I'm like, I haven't played this yet.
Yeah, I remember those games. I didn't play it myself, but I heard a lot about them.
I beat Fatal Frame 1, got pretty far in 2, never played 3. But my favorite scary games are probably going to be in Silent Hill. Silent Hill 1, I love Silent Hill 1.
That's a series I never got into. I don't know why. Maybe they made a new Silent Hill game and it doesn't get canceled. That would be great. But, I never got into Silent Hill. I always knew that they were really scary games.
And Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3 are the ones that you should always play. The American ones are alright, but the three that are made from the original game or original team is the best.
It was funny. A couple of years ago, I remember going to a con, and then me and my friends went out at night, and I forgot I was at a con, and I see this guy coming around the corner, freaking Pyramid Head. I was terrified. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo! And he came in with the big, I think he had a sledgehammer or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm at a con. I forgot about that. I was like, yo, the guy looked terrifying. Oh man, my friends made fun of me for the whole trip.
That's great.
Because I fell on the floor. It was hilarious.
He fell.
Yeah, I fell on the floor. As soon as I saw him come around the corner, because I was ready to run. I was ready. It was fight or flight. I was ready to run. I was like, what is that? Some guy just walking through the streets in that outfit. It was like the con area, like the hotel area.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was great.
Have you ever heard of Siren Blood Curse? It's on the PS3. That's a really weird scary game. It runs like shit. But because it's on a PS3, so it's obviously going to run bad. But it was really weird and really freaky because it's like story segments. So you have playing as multiple characters and they each have their own story. And one of the stories is you're playing as a little girl and you're being chased by your zombie dad.
What?
Yeah, and sometimes what happens is the screen splits and you get to see what the zombie dad's looking at, and it's just so when you're running, you can see him looking at you, and then starts chasing after you, and you're like, oh god, run!
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's just when that happens, it runs at 10 frames per second because it's and the control.
I see it.
Yeah, I want to see a remaster of that game that runs at a good 30 frames per second. And yes, I did say 30. 60 would be really weird for a horror game.
One more game that comes to mind for me was Outlast. That was a fun one.
Oh yeah, Outlast actually kind of freaked me out.
Yeah,
and scary games tend to not freak me out. Spaghetti asks, when will the return of spoiler casts? You worded this word. When will spoiler cast return? Would love to hear a Cold Steel 2 and 3 spoiler cast with you and Shadow Elite. Oh yeah,
we could as soon as we're done with Cold Steel 3.
Yeah,
I'll probably be done with that in a couple. But you'll probably take.
If I spend some of my days off just straight up playing that game, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. That's a big maybe.
We're probably gonna. Spaghetti, I'll probably be able to do it now since Shadow actually plays the games. We'll actually finish the games at the same time I finish them. Because what happened is Taylor would play different games and we would always finish games at different times, and we will never be able to do a spoiler cast because he wouldn't have finished it at time.
Right.
So. And people have been waiting for I think the Cold Steel 1 spoiler cast came out a year and a half ago, and they're still waiting for Cold Steel 2.
Oh man.
So yeah, we gotta do that one.
We could do a Cold Steel 2 if you want.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Just talk. I need to actually remember how I played it.
Yeah, I gotta remember too. Yeah, I gotta play. I probably load the game up real quick, load various points, and just be like, oh yeah, okay, I did this. Oh,
yeah. It's a good idea. Let's turn on my Vita right now. Yeah, so more spoiler casts in the future, probably. Abram, what does the next Hyperdimension Neptunia game have to do to catch your attention? Would thick thighs also bump up the series? It's an Abram question. I've never played him.
You never played him?
I've never played him, yeah.
You're not missing out on much. See, here's the thing. Capella Heart, the developers, or Idea Fact, there's one of them. But they are really set in the ways of how to make an RPG, make their brand of RPG. So they're really not going to change much. And one of the things I feel is that the fan base doesn't demand change. They're good with what they got, even if what they have is mediocre as hell. So I don't think they're going to do anything different. I'm pretty sure we're going to get another Neptunia game. I don't think any amount of thick thighs is going to make a difference for the most part, because this whole series is pretty much
thick
fan service. Yeah, thick and fan service for the most part. So it's like, I don't think it's going to change at any point. I would love for them to improve, but as I said, this is their template of how a JRPG is made for them. So it's like all their games are pretty much the same. The Hyperdimension Neptunia games, the Fairy Fencer F, Dragon Star Valnir, what was the other one? Death End Request. They're all, for the most, they have different battle systems, but they're all set up the same. And they're all thick, if you will. So nothing's really going to change.
Would you say they're D tier or C tier games?
D tier.
C tier?
Well, I would say, you know what's interesting? For what they are, they're, like the Hyperdimension Neptunia games, they're okay. If you're not looking for a great game or even a standard RPG, they're okay. Because I was going to make a video on Hyperdimension Neptunia, but it became a lot of work, and I kind of dropped it. But I had to go back and get footage, and I was like, oh yeah, it's fun for the most part. It's fun, but it's like a visual novel. They're long as hell, and they're subpar. And then, like, as I go through each game, I'm realizing that they made little updates and increments, and I'm like, oh man, if you guys can just change things up, maybe you would actually be worth talking about. Like, people wouldn't like shun you for the most part, or like scoff at them. But they're set in their ways. But as far as like the other games, like Fairy Fencer, that was actually a pretty good game. Dragon Star Valnir, that just felt like the Capella Heart formula for the most part, and Death End Request. They're just like, yeah, they're like flirting around with D and C for the most part. Yeah, I would say definitely Fairy Fencer F is C. Everything else is just like probably D-ish.
So what they need to do is make a better game, pretty much.
Say it loud for the people in the back.
They gotta update.
Yes,
what they do.
Exactly.
Darisham asks, have either of you hacked your 3DS? It is relatively easy to do and opened me up to a ton of RPGs that would not normally be available to me.
I never hacked my 3DS.
I've never hacked my 3DS either. I've hacked my Vita and my PSP.
Oh, absolutely. I abuse the shit out of my PSP.
That's what you need to do. That is like, if you're a JRPG fan, you need a PSP hacked.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a requirement.
I also hacked my, what did I hack? I think was it the Wii or the Wii U? I don't know. It was one of them that I hacked. Now it's pretty fun to do. But yeah, I never did the 3DS. I had an R4 for the DS for a while there, but that's about as far as it went.
I remember when someone tried to trade in an R4 chip to me when I worked at GameStop.
What?
And I was like, I don't take these. And he's like, okay, you can have it. I'm like, okay, got a free R4 chip.
There we go.
I have it.
Actually, yeah, I've been playing it. That was fun times.
Yeah, I've hacked my PSP plenty of times. I have a bunch of PSPs. I have a PSP Go, and I hacked the crap out of that, and I just gave it to my friend. I'm like, here, have it. You can have all these games. I'm fine.
Ah, man, I remember PSP Go was a thing. Oh, wow.
That was a cool system. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people scoffed at it, but it had a cool feature that no PSPs ever had, where you could minimize one game and load up another game, play that game, turn it off, and load up the other game back up.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was really cool. The only thing I didn't like was it was kind of small, so it kind of hurt my fingers.
Yeah, it was definitely small because my dad still had his and went to his house. I saw it in all his boxes. I was like, oh, damn, this thing is really small. Like, shit, how did I play on this? How would I play on this?
Yeah.
The screen is small as hell, too.
And no UMD either, so all those games would have to be digital. Next one. I don't think I'll, like, that's cool that you hacked your 3DS, dude, but what you should do is hack your PSP if you have one. Really easy to do. Takes like 15 minutes.
That's probably the reason why the Vita was really didn't do so well, because they have to make anti-hacking policies.
Oh yeah,
that's why.
My Vita's hacked, but I haven't really done anything with it. It's easy. It's easy to do now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The only reason why I wanted it was to play Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on a bigger screen.
Oh, okay.
That didn't turn out really well. I mean, it turned out fine, but my Vita has a problem where, for some reason, it says that my memory card has come out and it restarts the system. So like,
I think I had a problem with that too, and then it just went away.
Yeah, and so I always lose my stuff. I always lose my stuff. What's it called? My progress. So I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
From another one from Asian. I am curious if you have a specific backlog of JRPGs you want to get to finish that you haven't played through yet. Would like to hear ones you want to play the most in the near future aside from the newer games coming out.
So aside from the newer games that are coming out?
Yeah. Like, do you have a list that you want to play that's not the newer ones?
There's maybe one or two that come to mind. Hold on, let me see real quick. I got a whole folder full of JRPGs. I definitely want to get to Tokyo Xanadu.
Yeah, there you go. That's one thing you gotta do, because that's one of our favorites here.
Yeah, I really want to get to that one again. I played it for a little bit, and then I didn't drop it. I just stopped because I wanted to play other games. I want to play more of Labyrinth of Refrain. That seemed like a pretty fun one. Let's see. Knights of Azure 2. That seems like a pretty fun one. That I want to play that one.
You got to play that on the PS4, not the Switch version, because I heard that Taylor said that one is buggy.
I played it on PC.
Oh, PC. There you go.
So,
good.
Yeah, it works out. I low key. I want to go back and play Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, because I was having fun with that. That was actually not too bad. And just to FYI for everybody, I hate Sword Art Online, but Fatal Bullet was actually pretty fun. So I'll say that.
The game itself was fun.
Yeah. Maybe World of Final Fantasy. At some point, I wanna go back and play. That'd be pretty cool. But can't really think of anything else. Oh, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. I want to play that one, but I got too much things going on.
I have a list of Final Fantasy games that I need to play, because I haven't really played Final Fantasy games.
I'll tell you if they're relevant or not.
I want to play 10.
Yes, absolutely.
12 is the Zodiac Age. I have it, so it's right there.
Yeah.
I want to play 9.
Skip.
You want me to skip 9?
Nah, you know what? A lot of people say 9 is great, and I'm like the only odd man that doesn't care for 9. But I actually want to go back and play 9, maybe to see if I still don't like it. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that one.
I don't know. Maybe 8.
I think 8 is great. I like 8.
And I think that's the only that I'm done. That's the only Final Fantasies I want to play. But I've played all the Tales games. I don't know if I. And I want to play Vandal Hearts 2, because I haven't played that yet. That's pretty much it. Everything else here's one. Radiata Stories.
Oh, yeah, that one's actually, only thing
And
Radiant Historia. Okay.
no, not Radiant Historia, Radiata Stories.
Yeah.
I beat Radiant Historia.
Yeah.
It's this game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've always seen that game. That was a game, like, when I was first getting into JRPGs, GameStop, I said, I'm going to get you one day. Yeah, I never did.
One of the old hosts on this, named Connor, swears it's really, really good. And usually his recommendations are spot on. So, Rogue Galaxy, or have you played Rogue Galaxy?
That was a good one. I really enjoyed that one.
I got really far. I think I got really far. I played a lot of hours into it. I think like 60 hours, and then I stopped, and I have no idea where that save file is.
I actually want to go. I really want to play that. Well, that's like unrealistic. I'm never gonna go back and play Rogue Galaxy unless it comes out with like a remake or a remaster that upscales all the graphics and makes everything look great. Then that's the only reason I'm going that, because I bought it on the PS4. That's one of those PS2 games on PS4, and I played it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, I got other things to do. It's not a priority.
Yeah, my backlog isn't that big. I just noticed. Or it's not that big compared to like off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then the opposite game. Let's do the last question from Kurt. Looking ahead at 2020, what are your top 3 most anticipated games?
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
I need to think of mine. I know. Like, wait, no, I know 2 of them. Never mind.
Okay. Tales of Arise, Final Fantasy, Persona 5 Royal. And if it does come out next year, Cold Steel 4. Yeah, I know that's 4, but yeah, those are my 3.
There you go. That's my answer too, guys. That's what I'm looking forward to.
What do you think Tales of Arise? You think Tales of Arise is going to be really different? Like, is it going to like completely throw everything on its head?
I don't know. That's what I was worried of when I first saw it. It looked kind of like Final Fantasy 15, and I'm like, oh no, they're Final Fantasy 15 in it. 15 it. But then the director said, don't worry, it's still going to have your party. You're still going to have it's still like a Tales of Battle system. So I'm like, okay. I'll see.
They said it's going to be multiple party members, right?
Yeah.
That's what you just said, right? Okay. Why haven't we seen any other characters yet? I feel like we should have seen some other characters by now.
They've teased one character, which is obviously the quirky mage character, because every Tales game has a quirky mage.
Okay.
They teased her, or I don't even, was it her? I don't remember. And the little mascot animal that every Tales game has as well. So
okay,
we'll see.
Also, don't you think it's a little bit weird that Tales of Arise got announced on Xbox's E3? I think it was Xbox's E3.
It did. Though I think the only reason why, because Sony did not have one.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, that's the only place where they could announce it, right?
Okay, that's true. I guess that's right. Tales of Arise. I gotta see more. I want to see more. I'm a little bit worried about that game, but not as worried as I am about Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, I hate being worried about my favorite series ever, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do. You just go back to the past. You keep going back to Tales of Destiny. It's fine.
Like where everything was nice and everything made sense. And it was all great.
And then I stare at Tales of Destiny 2 on the PS or Tales of Destiny on the PS2. It's like the game that I never got. Pissed off at that. There was actually a fan translation of that game of Tales of Destiny Tales of Destiny PS2, and it was like 90% complete. And it was about they started saying, "Oh, it's going to come out in like a couple months," and then randomly, just straight up out of nowhere, they're like, "We're done. We're canceling it. Not going to do it anymore. Not going to release it."
Ouch!
And I'm like, "What the fuck happened? This is out of nowhere, just gone."
That hurts. I mean, like I know these fan translation groups, they have no obligation to us to do whatever because they are literally going on their own time, painstakingly going into their files and translating stuff. But it hurts when they just drop one. It really hurts.
And they drop it right at the end.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. You could play it and it'll be good. It'll be fine.
That hurt.
So when I saw that happened, I'm like, okay, something must have happened. Something like Namco was like, hey, we're gonna release this as like an HD remaster, and can you help us translate it? And I'm like, please be a thing. And then Tales of Vesperia came. Next one. The next one's going to be the Tales of Destiny collection.
Hope so. That'd be nice.
All right. So yeah, actually, this is a good comeback episode. It was fun and decently length.
Yeah, not bad.
But yeah, guys, thanks for sticking with us, and hopefully you'll like the new format, or not really a new format, but Shadow is going to be with us, so. Hopefully you'll like our chemistry compared to Taylor's chemistry. But yeah, it was fun. Thanks, Shadow, for doing this. It's awesome that you're going to be with us. Oh, I forgot to actually announce this at the beginning of the episode. Giant Sword Podcast is now going to be bi-weekly. So it's not going to be every week. It's going to be every other week.
Yeah, I feel like that's really good. You can talk a lot more things.
Yeah, because lets us play games better or more, and lets the news grow. Yeah, so exactly. pile up. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for everything, man. Give it a shout out to your channel and everything, and your podcast as well.
Yeah, my channel is Shadow Elite. You can go on there if you love JRPGs. I try to cover all latest and greatest. Sometimes I just have like new stuff and other types of videos on there. But I'm a huge JRPG nut. The HPMP podcast just made a comeback itself. I think that was our second episode in a long time, after a couple of months. But we're getting back to it ourselves every other week. So the next one is next Sunday. So if you want to check that one out. Also, I think the one that we did last Sunday was really good. So you guys should check that one out too. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And if you guys noticed that we staggered these podcasts, one week is the HPMP one, and the other one is the Giant Sword Podcast. We did that on purpose.
Yeah. As long as I'm doing at least just one, I'll be fine.
All right. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Check out our Twitter on the details below for more updates, because the LHG channel is going to be going through some changes, so updates are going to be on there. So thanks for guys, and we'll be back.
All right, see you guys later.